welcome in to an oasis of calm that is Qi time. Are you curious about your exquisite nature? You know, the you that lies behind the conditioning, the trauma, even the personality. Well, I'm Clara Apollo. As you know, I'm an elemental Qigong teacher trainer, and I'm a curious explorer of what is true. And I feel that the energy of Qigong, or Qi, is a language of truth. Now then, you might have heard of Qigong. You know, it was banned in China hundreds of years ago. It was deemed too powerful for the masses, and it had this mystique around it. But you know what Qigong can give us? It can give us energy and access calm and relaxation. It can help you land in the present moment with its mindful movements, and it can help you to manifest what you want. Now, Qigong came over to the West about 50 years ago, so it's still pretty new, really, and it's a wonderful adjunct to your yoga or your meditation. These practices all weaving just so beautifully together to help to increase your power, your innate power, that which is behind everything else. Indeed. So on this episode of Qi Time, we're going to explore the crystalline element, because this is the element that leads you to finding where that exquisite part of you is. Now, the crystal element is like linked with the metal element. This is in traditional Chinese medicine, and the whole wheel of the year travels round, doesn't it? So we start in the winter time with the water element that really gives us this this foundation that we can then grow from. And it also invites us into flow. So as the year begins to unfold in the springtime, the combination of the water nourishing the earth then brings the energy, connects with that generative force that is so there, present in all of us, but they're in the earth to bring through the springtime and the growth. You know, I'm just going to mention the word trees here because they represent the wood element, but it is that creative, that juicy force in us where we begin to work with our ideas and the wishes for our year. Lovely to seed it in the springtime. And then as the year progresses and the wheel of the seasons and the elements continues, we get to the top of the year, to the fire element, and we get through to the fire element via the air, because you want the combustion, or the body of the fire is the wood, and then you've got it needs the air to combust. So the air element brings us into our like expansive qualities, to like connecting with all. The air that goes deep into the holes into the earth, but it also goes all the way up to the atmosphere. But it helps us to remember our spiritual nature, our inspiration. It brings us into that intimate connection with the air, but also expressing outwards. So the air leads us into the fire, which is the top of the year, the zenith of the year, where all the bounty that we've been growing through the year begins to blossom and express. Maybe there's some fragrances and you can see that the apples are growing, and there's a real kind of a feeling of joy and expression, a very community or like sociable time where you want to be outside in the sunshine, on the beach, or whatever. There's a playtime to the summer, isn't there? And then as the year progresses, we come into late summer, and in traditional Chinese medicine, this is to do with the earth element, although you will find the earth element turning up in between all of the elements, because of course they're all connected with the earth, and for us to always remember that the earth is there to support us. But when the earth is given a whole season of its own, it's such a like a relief as this softening of the year. We come into this harvesting time and the gathering the bounty of that which has grown and expressed and ripened, and we come into the harvest. And from that harvest time, we gather in, you know, we get our stocks in, we get all our squashes in, and our apples, and all the other fruit that we can store over the winter. We can do this energetically as well. And then from there, we're coming into the autumn time, which at the time of recording is where we are right now. I'm in the UK, here near Glastonbury, and I can really feel the energy of the year condensing. And this is what connects us with the crystals and the metal. So we've gathered the harvest into the bounty, and there's this condensing energy that comes in to help to, you know, I was going to say that the crystals are birthed in the earth, aren't they? Under pressure, under time. And so as they are birthing, it feels like this condensing energy, which I guess is pressure under the earth. But we're going to do a couple of exercises to help you have an experience around this shortly. But it helps to squash out this condensing energy, this pressure helps to squash out any of the crud. And what is left is this pure, exquisite collection of minerals and magic over time. And when we tune into this for ourselves, this is what we can work with, play with, notice, experience, explore. So my sense is this fall season, this autumn season is about gathering your preciousness, that of the year that you want to take forward with you into next year. That which you want to let go of it, whatever reason. And as you know, the earth is a great composter. So the letting go down into the earth, which we do a lot with our Qi practice, opens the channels of release, but also the channels of restore. Because when you let go of the old, deep down into the earth, deep down those roots into the earth, you create space. And space within you will attract the best possible frequency for you at that time, up from the earth, like a special recipe just for you. Will come and restore you and replenish you and nurture you. So the release and restore is a key part of the Qigong practice that I share, that I do myself, you know. And in this day and age, what we do to help ourselves on this fundamental level is of highest importance. It underpins everything else you do. So when you step into your Qi practice, you're giving yourself to you. You know how important you are to come into this release of the old, receive of the new. And now we're adding this, how do I access this exquisite sort of essential soul self that is behind everything else, So rather than burying ourselves in the ground, which let's face it, wouldn't be pleasant at all, what we can approach this crystalline element with is giving ourselves time and space for quietude, for self-compassion, for kindness. So shall we have a little play now? Yeah, so if you're sitting or standing, or even if you're just going to be imagining, remember how important and powerful your imagination is. The first port of call is always how you are holding yourself. And actually there's a clue in that. If you feel like you're holding yourself, take a breath in. And as you let go, let yourself soften your shoulders, soften your jaw, soften your lower back. And just watch the breath as it comes in and out of your body. And each time you breathe out, feel that release a little bit more into whatever is supporting you, the chair, the floor. Let them support you. That's what they're there for. But ultimately, let Mother Earth support you. Acknowledge her great presence of consistent support. In fact, as you breathe out next, send her a gift of appreciation. And know that as you do this, your roots, your energy roots begin to unfurl down into the earth, down deep through many, many layers. It just happens naturally when we soften and we appreciate. And these initially are our channels of release. Because tension and toxic debris doesn't want to stay in your body. It wants to find a way out. So when you let it come into this quietude, this self-presencing, that rooting down happens naturally. And you open your curiosity. Because before you know it, you'll be receiving up from the surface of the earth, bubbling up some golden energy. That's the golden quality. It might have a different actual colour that's shown to you, but the quality will be of the most exquisite, precious kind because it's your chi that you're gathering. It's the elixir that the earth has got the special recipe just for you. You may notice a little bit of tingling in your feet or some warmth, or you might not notice anything at all. But know that it's going on because it's a natural way of being to release and restore. And feel the length of your spine. Soften your belly so that the breathing is deeper without being forced. And let's consider that there are, all our body organs they're doing their own thing without us knowing about them really. We trust that they do their own thing. But when it comes to bringing healing energy into our body organs, we associate them with certain elements. And with the metal and crystalline element, we are looking to support the lungs and the large intestine. So as you're sitting here now, you're receiving the air into your lungs and out again. With a relaxed belly, you're letting the diaphragm flatten down. As that does that, it massages your internal organs. And as you know, you've got your ascending colon, your transverse colon, and your descending colon. So when the diaphragm can push down, it's massaging your colon there, which helps with peristalsis, which helps to ease the passage of waste that needs to find its way out. Now I'd like to also introduce you to the colour of this crystalline element. Now, like anything, when I suggest colours, I will suggest the foundational colours, and if anything comes up that you prefer, that is what's right for you. That's the frequency and vibration that's right for you. Now, I have got this as my crystalline guide, really. And, this is clear, this is see-through, but the filaments within there are white. It's a little rainbow for you too. But can you see the white in there? And it's the white that the lungs love. So as you breathe in now, let yourself receive the white. And as you breathe out, imagine breathing out a dusty mist. You receive the white light in and release the dusty mist. So you're tuning in to the detoxification process that the lungs always do for you. And whenever you turn your attention to something that's already going on, that's a fundamental truth, it enhances it. It makes it more powerful and work more effectively. Now we will look at ways of nourishing the large intestine, not in this particular session here. I do have a course coming up that I will talk to you more about at the end, because I would love to continue with this idea of releasing, just being able to come into your exquisite nature for right now. And there's one particular Qigong that I would love to share with you, just to give you that experience of exquisiteness. You up for this? So if you have practiced Qigong with me before, you will know that one of my go-to movements, if you haven't got time for anything else, you come into doing your great wheel of Qi, which is sometimes known as lifting the Qi and pouring it down. And it's very, very simple. And within that simplicity is such beauty and, dare I say it, exquisiteness. So, shall we give this a go now? From the center line poise, standing or sitting, just open the palms to the side, they're just facing forwards, picking up the Qi. Settling in. Remember song, S-O-N-G, settle, observe. And the N is about nurturing. And all of our Qi practice is about self-nurture. So picking up the Qi in the air, nurturing your hands and the energy points there that then bring this nourishment up into the body. But we're going to circulate and we're going to clear. So we're going to lift the arms up, nice and long. Let them come over the top of the head, facing down. Just make sure your shoulders are relaxed there. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let the hands slowly descend down the center line, facing slightly into your body, slightly down. So with the intention of clearing down. Now take as many breaths as you want on the way down here, as you bring in that energy of clearing. And when the hands get to the bottom of the torso, let that clearing energy travel down your legs and down into your feet and into your roots. Deep, that's a big out breath there. And when the in breath comes, the arms lift at the side, breathing in, and then the out breath, descending, clearing. And of course, as you know, with the clearing, creates space, so you're actually receiving fresh new Qi in the wake of the clearing movement. See why I love this? So cool. Down into the earth, lifting up, clearing down. So traditionally you would do these circuits for like 9 times. This is the Taoist way. Helps to bring more energy into the lungs, clearing you down. It's beautiful to imagine yourself on a mountaintop or something and just swirling the air and connecting with the heavens, drawing that crystalline Qi of the stars right down your center line to nourish you deep, 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 deep. And when you get to the bottom next time, turn your palms so they face up and let them lift up the center line and then face each other in front of your lungs or upper chest, shall I say. And then just settle. Relax the shoulders. Relax the arms. Imagine that there's 2 columns of Qi underneath your elbows that are holding you up so you can relax. So the hands are light and free. You're still deeply connected with the earth. Resourcing, exploring your exquisite essential soul self. That which is kind of feels more in the back of you, like it's a witness bearer of everything in the front. Now let's do another beautiful move here. Again, very simple. This is like enhancing the movement and the energy exchange of the breath, right? So as you know, when you breathe in, the lungs expand. So when you breathe in next, let your hands expand a little bit. And when you breathe out, let your palms float together as your lungs relax. And you come back in. When you're breathing out, you're connecting this, you're creating this condensing energy. When you're breathing in, you're expanding. So as ever, working with your own breathing rhythm. And feel this expansion, creating space that's helping to nudge any cruddy bits out into the almost to the edges of the universe. And then when you gather back in, you bring in the light, you bring in the best into this center space. You breathe and expand, and breathe out and condense. Again, good to do this 9 times. With your own breathing rhythm, and just seeing what you notice. How does this feel for you? Bringing power into your lungs, which then transfers that power through the breath, through the blood, all around your system. You see why Qigong is so powerful. And I think it is for the masses. I think we all need to know how to take care of ourselves energetically at this time. Because when you can self-presence like this, you know where your stability is. You know who you truly are. And as you bring your hands close together, just stay in that steady spot and just acknowledge who you really are. What you're really feeling now, what you're noticing, the truth of you in this moment. Don't overanalyze it. Get into the feels. And this is you connecting with your essential self, your pure crystal light. And if you're enjoying this and you would like to explore further, yeah, I do have a course coming up, and I have a masterclass. It's all on the claraapollo.com website. As I would love to share more of this with you, to encourage you to recognize the healing art that is ready to be used to nurture you, to nourish you, to assist you, and also to raise the curtain on the reveal of exercise forms that were once banned because they were so powerful. They were only deemed acceptable for the Yellow Emperor and the other important courtiers. So what you're feeling here, I'd love to know, do drop a comment, what you're feeling here. And in the course, we're going to do some like shorter sessions, like half-hour session for your morning, to do with opening the lungs, and also activating the healing around your abdomen for your large intestine. But also, what I'd love to bring in is, when we come into this kind of exquisiteness, to bring in your crystals, to bring in your special crystal, and to hold your crystal in your charged up hands, so that you are programming your crystal with the most exquisite energy of you. So that every time you pick up and use your crystal, it encourages that connection back into your exquisite nature. Now, this is practical magic at play, and we all need to have our assistance, our guidance too. And as I said, would love to share more with you. So drop any comments, any questions. It's a conversation, this is. And before I go, I will just bring in that other aspect of this time of year, the element associated with the crystals. We're talking metal. We're talking, this is the throat bowl. This is about speaking and sounding your truth. So this will be a way of completing our session here. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of Chi Time with me, Clara Apollo. As I say, more info about everything I get up to mostly is on my website, claraapollo.com. So I wish you well. Take a breath in and receive these beautiful tones. And how about on this one, you make a sound that this sound is inspiring from you. Yeah? And breathe into your belly, into your heart, and make a sound.